Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Past the Six. I'm your host, JB. Joining me as always is Tsunamic Wave. And we got a special guest this week, GamerLiveLook. What's going on, yo?
What's
Yo,
going on? Go ahead, Tsunami. You're the normal. What you spitting?
nah. I'm just saying my normal yo, man. How you doing? How you feeling? You the special guest. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling fantastic. I appreciate you, brothers, for bringing me in and you know, allowing me the opportunity to speak with you guys on the lovely gaming podcast that you guys do, which I absolutely love, and I do my best not to miss it. It's just fun, and you guys, your personalities are both hilarious, and Jay, you're cool. Um, Wave, whenever you do show up, you're cool.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate what you guys do here, man, and it's a lot of love, a lot of love.
Now, as always, man, welcome. But if you guys are tuning in and you're new to the show, we split this show into 4 parts. We start out what games we're currently playing. Then from there, we're going to This Week in Gaming, talk about some retro games that dropped throughout this week in history. Then from there, we'll touch upon some topics, industry news, and then we'll get into the spin wheel. One gotta go, game versus, all types of stuff like that. So we're going to start with the guest of honor. I know we've been playing Battlefield 2042. But
you can't pay me to play that.
I'm gonna kick this one off with you.
What's up?
What games you been currently playing, bro?
To be honest with you, I'm still stuck on my Call of Duty. Tomorrow is the season 3 reloaded, so they're gonna start dropping like crazy stuff for Rebirth Island and all that. So we'll get into that. But for the most part, is Call of Duty. Kind of got back on the Division on the off stream stuff. That's Division is one of my favorite franchises. So I'm kind of preparing myself and getting excited for the Division 3, which we should be hearing about soon, to be honest with you.
Okay.
What about you guys? What you guys got going on?
The games you been playing, Wave?
I ain't gonna lie. I've been on COD a lot recently. I want to ask you this, gamer. Do you mind if I just cut your name short?
Go ahead. That's fine.
Feel like I'm saying artist.
A whole phrase. Exactly. I'll be a controller symbol next time.
Nah, but lately I've been trying to like grind for the nuke skin, and you got to get like 30 resurgence wins before you even get an opportunity to do like a nuke. You ain't get it yet.
So what you got? I haven't gotten it yet. So what you actually, it's 2 different ways you can get it. So it's either 5 consecutive wins in a row, and then it unlocks the contract for you to do the nuke. So then you could do the nuke run.
Right.
And in Rebirth, it's the same thing. The only difference is on Rebirth, you can actually cheese the contract. In Rebirth, when you get the new contract, there's contracts on the map that are called like you hack other contracts. So if you actually get that contract to hack contracts, you grab that contract first, then go to your it's called the Champions Quest contract. If you hack that and if you do it right, you actually get the nuke rewards without ever getting the nuke.
Hey, so if y'all go do that, just understand y'all didn't get that from us. Okay? I don't want to get banned.
COD allows it. COD allows it. COD allows it. Believe it or not, they don't. They're not doing anything to fix any of the issues in the game. So that's on them.
Well, y'all go check that out. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna be honest.
Wait, if you ever want to get, if you're ever on COD, you let me know, man. You could jump in with me. We could have some fun.
Chill. Yeah, that's.
Did y'all play anything besides COD before I go, or just COD?
Oh well, like I said, the Division. I've been doing that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Nah, I can't think of nothing.
All right, yo. So I've been playing MLB The Show 24 Wave. I've been playing the Road to the Show mode.
I did the
2-way player, you know what I mean? Because obviously, I think that's new to this particular year that you can be a 2-way player. Obviously, the Otani effect, right? Yeah, they put me on the Orioles, which is actually dope because obviously Baltimore had a good year last year, so obviously in game they're good. Wave, I feel you on the quick time buttons. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm so used to using the right thumbstick. You line it up, hit the right trigger, you throw it. Now it's XXYBA. I'm like, yo, get the hell out of here, bro.
You got you doing cheat codes out there,
bro. That's insane.
Yo, I was like, nah, man. I was like, yeah, that's type trash. But other than that, I played a little bit of actually Rainbow Six Siege. I went back and played that. I forgot it got remastered and stuff for the Series X and all that. So I went back and put that on. Still fun. I had a lot of fun with that game on the Xbox One era. Obviously the squad who has to play with don't play it no more per se, but I just played with some randoms on there. But it was still good, man. It was still good. And I guess right on time, Mac Williams, good. He said,
Yep.
Fighting games. The last game I played actually was MK1. I went back and played that. Some of the DLC fighters are out. They're still rolling them out. I played a little bit of that. But to answer his question, do y'all play fighting games?
The last fighting game I played was actually Street Fighter 6, which I actually liked. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
I like not only obviously the fighting mechanisms, but I like the free roam fighting that you can run around next to a schoolgirl, and if she looks at you funny, you can just give it a pause real quick and call it a day. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool the way that they did that.
Yeah, I play fighting games too. The last game, Tekken 8, I've been playing that crazy. I think Tekken 8 kind of took what Street Fighter 6 did with the free roam.
Yep.
And like added with the added practice, the way you remember the way I explained the practice. I don't want to kind of go through that whole spill again. But the way they did with the practice and the way you could like utilize that joint is fire. Like if games after this, they gotta have that, or it's not gonna be good.
All right, yo, let's get to this chat and then we'll get on to this week in gaming. Jess said hi. What's going on?
Yep.
What's going on, Jess?
Christian Castro said, hope everyone is doing well. Decided to take lunch early to make sure I didn't miss the stream. Appreciate that, bro.
Appreciate that, Christian.
Lunch.
Make sure you get a bite to eat, though. Like
he's probably on that overnight. You know how that overnight is.
I was about to say, what time is it where you at? Lunchtime.
Mo said, all the way from Japan.
What's good, Mo?
Matt Williams said
breakfast.
Right, literally. Like Byron Hurd said, what up, man?
Yo.
Football's well. Mo said just finished the Bluey game with the kids, started playing Steins Gate Zero visual novel after finishing the anime. Have y'all played that or watched it?
I never heard of that.
I never heard of it.
I'm gonna put that on my list.
I've heard of the anime. I haven't seen it though, but I didn't even know that there was a game, to be honest.
Okay.
Mo also said I've been playing the show 24, correcting me saying, okay, so it's been in there since 21. I haven't noticed it.
It's been for a minute.
It's probably because at that time, Otani, once he came on the scene, you know what I mean, and took over, I think that's when it became more of a focus.
I think the first year they forced you to be two-way, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they always since 2021, they make you always pick a secondary position for your two-way player. Always.
You know why? I think usually because I always pick the outfield that they just assign me like the one or the other
outfield position.
Yeah.
Right.
Andrew Armstrong was good, man. He said, if dead or alive isn't an answer, y'all lying. Great jiggly wiggly.
In my teen years, Dead or Alive was the go-to on a Saturday night when I had nothing to do.
Bro, ain't they like the only fighting game that made a volleyball game?
Yeah.
Well, baby oil and wiggly jigglies.
The overnight gang. More power to you, bro. Because the overnight gang.
I feel you, man. I've done it. I hated it. Couldn't do it no more.
Max said, I'm supposed to be at work.
I am mad at you. I took the day off too. I feel you. Sometimes you just got to do it.
Mo said it started as a game, then got adapted into an anime. Okay. All right, that's definitely a recommendation then.
10 out of 10 from what source, man?
The 10 people that played the 10 games. That's what it is. 10 out of 10.
All right, yo, let's get into this week in gaming. We briefly look back on games that dropped throughout this week in history. And yeah, we're going to kick this one off, man, with a classic. No negativity around this game. I don't want to hear nothing. We're talking about NBA Streets Volume 2. Now, I'm going to kick this one off with Wave, man. Wave, what's your thoughts on NBA Streets Volume 2, bro?
Man, this is my favorite Streets of the franchise. I think it's a classic game. You know what I'm saying? I actually could still have fun playing this, even though graphically, I don't even want to get into graphics because of that's gonna make me say something negative. I want to stay positive with this game because it's just that good. I wish they would remaster it straight up. I'll say that about a few games, not a lot. There's a couple games that I wish they would remaster, and doing this podcast just make me realize with this whole cycle of remastering, there's some games that we need to revisit with a better view.
Is that just because of the way it looks, or is that more the accessibility of being able to play it on the modern consoles?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I think more of the accessibility part, because they don't. It's not really. You got to buy like an old console or get like the emulator or something like that to actually play. And they seem to do that with the classics. Only a few, like the older classics, that they let it be like accessible through the consoles. Right. But games like this, it's hard to play. So I mean, fine, especially if you want to like keep up with the Joneses when it comes to systems.
Sure.
So I think it's both.
GamerLiveLook, what's your thoughts on NBA Streets Volume 2, bro?
Phenomenal game. The whole Streets series was great. It was great, no matter which one you picked up, 1, 2, or 3. I wish that they would remake these games. I wish that they would remake FIFA Streets, NFL Streets, NBA Streets. Those games were different, just different style of basketball, almost like an and one type game. It gave you a different option to play instead of having to play NBA 2K or NBA Live.
Right,
now it's just 2K. So it's like if these games came out, people would have fun. Another game that I love playing, it was this style, but it wasn't like it wasn't so street ballish. I don't know if you guys remember NBA Showtime for Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That's another game that's phenomenal. If they remastered that would be the greatest thing ever, in my opinion. And it would give us as gamers not only the nostalgic feeling, but it'll also give us the opportunity to share what great games we had with future generations and stuff like that.
That's a good point, because like this guy, I remember when I first repurchased this game, probably like 2012-ish. And I remember thinking like, is this game going to hold up? Because at that point, it's been like close to like 5-6 years since I even touched it, right? So when I popped the game in, I was like, I don't want to be disappointed. And I put this out. Nah, it's still fun. You know what I mean? Till this day, it's still fun. Wave, this might be the one game I don't care if it's remastered or not, only because like I got this game on the OG Xbox, so popping it on there, I get the online play, right? Being able to play this online with friends or the updated graphics, but part of it's like if you bring it into the next era, I feel like they're gonna mess something up, right? Like I just have a bad feeling about it. Like we saw what they tried to do with San Andreas when they did that. I don't need nothing to happen to this game, particularly just because I haven't seen it done well yet.
But this game is a lot easier to remaster than a game with missions. All you doing is creating the players better and then making the background look a lot, brighter or, clearer. But San Andreas, that was lazy. That was lazy. Like a lot of the remasters, they look absolutely spectacular, right? Mm-hmm. Like even look at the Resident Evils. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first, I don't think they redid the first one, but they did the second one and the third one. And those joints look absolutely incredible because they actually took the time to do it. Streets I would assume, because it's not a lot going on. You just running up and down shooting the ball. That is a lot easier to remake than a San Andreas would be, and they got to make you chasing a train down 2 towns. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just different,
I feel you. Let's get to the chat. Let's see what the chat is saying. Mo said, according to Steam, is 10 out of 10. All right. Definitely got to check it out.
It's a good source.
Right. Still the 10 people who bought it. That's
it. Mac Williams said, classic. I was cheesy. Off the heezy. I still remember all the moves, man. The slip and slide, off the heezy. Like, game is classic.
I think everybody was cheesy though.
That's a fact. The only bad thing about this game is that you can't find it anywhere online. If you don't have the physical copy, you ain't playing. The game was legendary.
Right.
That's a fact. Plus, like both. Another thing, Wave, that in GamerLiveLook, I don't think WoW will see this again, is licensing, right? the NBA players you'd have to license, the music that you'd have to license. That's like the downside of including that real world music and stuff into these games. That's like the downside of it. But Christian Castro said game was good, fun, nothing bad to say about it. Thank God, man, because sometimes I'd be hyped to talk about a game, y'all be killing me. But this one I figured it was gonna be a smoke for this particular game. Said NBA Street was NBA Jam cleaned up. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it was different.
It was different. It was street ball compared to like NBA Showtime, NBA Hang Time. Those were NBA Jam cleaned up.
Right.
This was just completely different. This was street ball. This was what Allen Iverson was doing in the NBA. You were actually able to do it in a game,
right?
Compared to like those other type of games. This is way different.
I feel this is more like the NFL. I mean, I guess the NFL Street, right? Like basically took street football and incorporated that into a video game. That's a great point. Most said this is the only time EA dropped an absolute gem. I'd say the closest, to be honest, is probably Live 05. It's close to a gem. I kind of agree with Mo here though. What's your thoughts on that part? Like
I'm literally thinking of what EA dropped as far as sports games.
I'm thinking of any game.
I would say it's up there with MVP Baseball 05.
That's yep.
It's up there with MVP Baseball 05.
Personally,
05 was just a good year for sports games.
For sports games in general, yeah.
It might be the best ever if you think about it. Because even ESPN 2K5, which of course dropped
2K5,
yeah, even that was, you know what I mean, was amazing. But Live 05 was just out of here. Max said, I like NFL Streets more though. I'm seeing that more and more, and I wonder if it's because like this game was legendary. It was everywhere. The Streets game was both good, both 1 and 2. But I wonder like why I'm starting to see that sentiment more now, right? Like the NFL Street, like I think people long for it more. If that makes sense.
I got a theory.
The guy,
I think it's because of like what you could actually do. Like this game is fun and cool. We could actually do these moves on the court though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like people, even when you play street football, you playing it organized. You know what I'm saying? Like people ain't running off the walls and putting it between their legs and throwing it behind their back.
Right.
Like, that's not stuff that you actually do even when you playing street football. So just to be able to do some of the crazier stuff that you don't get to do is, it makes it more
appealing. Makes it more appealing.
That's the word.
That's more than fair. Let's get to the rest of these chats. Byron said, I wish they remastered it, taking y'all sentiment, of course. Christian said, NFL Street was so good. John was good. Yo, bro. He said, we should run a Street Volume 2 tournament, man. I like to be inclusive. I ain't trying to embarrass y'all like that. Like,
I am. Run it. What's up?
Yeah, you getting the business there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Most said all you have to do is follow the damn train.
Yeah, that's a fact. That mission not hard.
Byron said Fight Night, MVP Baseball, and Live certain years were dope. Yeah, Fight Night is round 3. Fight Night.
Oh, champion. Yeah, I forgot they did Fight. Bro,
Fight Night is done.
Fight Night.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a great point. That
a great franchise point. Was an absolute gem.
Word. Mm-hmm. All right, yo, let's jump to the next game, man. The next game we're talking about is what I call a forgotten Rockstar game, only because everybody remembers the ones that came after, and that is Red Dead Revolver, which dropped 2004, so 20 years ago on May 3rd. This one is interesting because obviously we know what Red Dead Redemption became, right? And this was this was like the OG. So I want to get y'all thoughts on this game because I know we talked about Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 on here before, but we never actually talked about this particular game. I'll start with a wave on this. What's your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I have never played this game. Like,
oh, really?
When it came out, they did a good job marketing it. I just wasn't interested in like just looking at it and doing the research on it. Like, I probably wouldn't have even really gave this much time. Like this, I'm really not into games like this, And I ain't gonna talk like it came out 2004, so the graphics, Man, it's hard because some games graphically in 04 was dope.
Yeah. Okay.
This is kind of cheesy if I'm being real honest. It's kind of cheesy.
Were you a fan of Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2?
Yeah, I think they did a good job on those
Okay.
games. So a great step up from this.
I'll go next, and then I guess we wrap up with GamerLiveLook. This particular game was why it took me so long to get into Red Dead Redemption, because I remember playing this game. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Westerns in general, whether TV, video games, or nothing. But I remember playing this game. My stepbrother actually got this game for Christmas. He beat the game, and I was like, "Let me check this out." I remember playing it and being like, I like when you first play through the duels, you know what I mean? First few times it's cool, it's different. At this time, I'm playing SOCOM, I'm playing the first Call of Duty, you know what I mean? So playing this was different, but I remember just like falling off this game quick. And when Red Dead 1 dropped, I remember being like, nah, I'm good on that. Like, and then I ended up playing it and I eventually liked it. But I remember at this time, I was just like, nah, I'm good on this forever. I'm good on Western anything forever. So that's me. GamerLiveLook, what's your thoughts on this game?
So with this game, the first time I played this, I was actually I graduated from Job Corps.
Okay.
So I was actually in Job Corps when I first played this in 04. I went to Oneonta Job Corps, Oneonta, New York.
Yep.
And
I went to college out there, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So this game was interesting. It was different than any other like shooter game. It was different than any other first person game. And it was State of Emergency meets Grand Theft Auto. But Rockstar realized what they had here. And they realized that they can actually make money off of the Westerns because nobody else is here doing it. And you figured they gave them from 04 to 2010, I believe, was when the first Red Dead dropped.
Yep.
It gave them 6 years to work on the proper game. And we got an instant classic because of the time development. And they basically went off of the base of what they already had. So they did a phenomenal job with this. And this game is, how do I say it? It's the stepping stone that they needed to go ahead and expand themselves to what we ended up with Red Dead Redemption. Now we're almost at Red Dead Redemption 3.
Yeah. So basically you're saying this game crawled so Red Dead could walk.
Could
right?
walk.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. Because like Red Dead 2 was when I was like all systems go, right? Like Red Dead 1, I was like, okay, still better, obviously. Red Dead 2, when that came out, I got that game when it first dropped.
I think like, Red Dead 2, we were all cowboys at that point.
Yeah,
we were all ready to roll. Old Town Road in the background, ready for it.
Yo, let's get to the chat. Mo said, I don't care for the Red Dead franchise. I've tried to get into it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. That's fair. Like I said, I still like, even when I first got Red Dead 2, I was like, damn, I still don't know if I kind of like this. But then once you start playing it, the missions they had in that game by that time, the graphics too, I was like, it just overtook my dislike for like that whole genre. But I feel that though about the cup of tea, God, especially when Grand Theft Auto's out. And Mike Green was good, bro. He said this game was booty. Hard to get into, especially when San Andreas came out same year.
It looks so bad. I'm just watching this while y'all talking.
You see, he's holding a gun over his head, right?
Right.
Like,
Bro, my man put it in slow motion and missed. Like, how you do that? It's in slow motion.
Mac Williams says, shouts out to Job Corps. Word.
Facts.
All right, yo, let's jump to the next game then. Yo, the next game we talking about, we circling the block on Rockstar. Grand Theft Auto 4, man. Now, this is a game that Wave, GamerLiveLook. I remember when this game, I remember seeing the commercials. I remember looking at G4
It was not so easy.
TV.
People were,
for the youngins who don't know, like, you know what I mean? Watching all the stuff about this game. And when this joint dropped, man, I was not disappointed. This might be the first game where I think I missed school the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I was on this game nonstop, bro. Just sometimes just driving around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not even playing the missions or the side missions, just driving around listening to Joel Ortiz on the soundtrack, Jadakiss. like
You can hear
But-
Jess, babe, I'm going out for a stroll. Just
Right.
jump on Grand Theft Auto, drives around.
Word, man. And like I remember playing this game back through when they put it on with like Xbox Live recently, actually, and I still love this game, man. I got none but great things for Grand Theft Auto 4. GamerLiveLook, what's your thoughts on this game, man?
Phenomenal game. Nico's the man. I don't care
Word.
what nobody says. Nico's the man. He's that dude. No matter what he got, what like the whole storyline was great. The game mechanics. The only thing I disliked about this game, and I bet you guys are going to agree with me on this, is the driving of the
driving.
vehicle. The driving was the hardest thing in the world in this game. You
Word.
couldn't control the cars. Like it was ridiculous. But outside of that, the game was great. A lot of great memories, man. Beating up prostitutes and doing everything. Just doing everything. Like it was just normal Grand Theft Auto stuff, but this one was just really, really well put together.
Yeah, the driving part was wild though, because I remember like you had to hit the brake, you know what I mean, to try to hit the turn. But
yeah,
they tried to make it realistic, but it didn't quite hit because like obviously, like it don't compute. That's why like going back to what they did in GTA 5 is better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that though. Wade, what's your thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 4, man? And Nico.
I mean, this was my favorite one until I guess I could say GTA got progressively better as somebody who been playing since 1, so 4 was like my favorite GTA for a long time. I still might pick it over 5 some days, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I love this game, bro. From Jacob to the Brucey, my boy that was just pumping, doing sit-ups, my juice to the gills. Like I say, I really said it all. It's a great storyline about somebody coming from nothing, making something. It's GTA, man. It's not a lot we can say. We talk about GTA a lot, so
yeah, man. Like this was one of the games that I mean, they did a little bit of stuff in Vice City, and they did some stuff, especially with the Scarface theme, right? They did some stuff in San Andreas, of course, the whole West Coast theme. But this was the one where I feel like they just started putting everything in the game. You know what I mean? Like the social media. You saw Cat Williams with the stand up at the comedy club. They was just like jam packing these games, and then seeing what they went from this and obviously 5 to what we know and think is going to be with 6. You could tell this is when they just ballooned the budget, started just putting everything and anything in the game, man.
Together, yep.
Yeah. And like I think that's why this game, like for me, sticks out, because as much as I love San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 3, and to a lesser degree Vice City, this was the one where it felt like, yo, you could do whatever you want in this game. You know what I mean? Like, and again, that driving mechanic, you can see from the way the car leaned when he turned and stuff. Like that just bring back memories of first learning how to drive in this damn game. Like, but all right, let's get to the chat, man. Let's see. Byron said Red Dead 1 and 2 had one of the best endings and storyline. Then the Red Dead Nightmares Zombie Edition was live.
Oh, I ain't played that Zombie Edition. I saw it though.
Yeah, I definitely saw it. Didn't actually play it. Mo said, I quit Red Dead 2 when they made me walk back to camp after a mission, and it took 20 real life.
they wanted to think about everything you did wrong in that mission, bro. They gave you 20 minutes to figure it out. That's crazy.
Mo said, as an NYC native, I couldn't wait for this game to drop, and it didn't disappoint. Definitely captured the essence of the city. The soundtrack was fire. Story was amazing, and the DLCs hit too. Yeah, another one. The way they did the DLC for this game was really dope, man. And that Grand Theft Auto 5 had thousands of DLC now, but
they still dropping them off.
Right, literally. Christian said, mechanics weren't all that for me on 4, but the game was fun. Agreed about the driving. Police chases were ass once you got some speed.
Yeah, it was over.
What I find interesting about this is if you look at the timeline too, this came out in 2008. Yeah, we got 5 in 13.
And
literally
13,
5 years later. And now we're 32 years into Grand Theft Auto 5.
Word.
So I that blows my mind.
Right. And like the leap from this to 5 is still a big jump. You know,
big jump, yeah.
Well, and they working at that time with a new console. So it's like that's the why. I mean, technically not right because it came out on the 360 technically, but
yeah,
you could tell
yeah,
they was ready to make that
PS3 and the
jump.
360, but they were already working on the next generations. It's just crazy.
Mo said couldn't drive in the game because it's New York City. Take the subway,
bro. The subway only stopped at 2 stops.
Yo, that's one thing I did like about this game. Though that was kind of funny. The taxi cab missions. I know it didn't originate in this game, but the taxi cab missions in this game is funny as hell too. That's actually how I learned how to drive in this game.
So my man was trying to park right there and just smacked into somebody.
Then Nico when he was trying to date that chick and he took her to the bowling alley and everything. Now this game is classic, man. Mike said, "Can't wait till 6 drop. The whole franchise is goated." Agreed on the franchise. 6, man. I don't know who knows when 6 gonna drop, y'all. Like,
I might be president when 6 drops.
Byron said, "Let's see. I think I'm the only gamer in the world that never fell in love with the GTA series. I know a few." Like I know a few who only play sports games or they only play like true shooting games, stuff like that, who never got into Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, I mean, game 5 sold like 100 and something million. So I mean, yeah.
I would ask what you don't like about it. That would be my question. What you don't like about it, about the franchise as a whole, like just the chaos.
That's a good question. Yeah, let us know.
I don't like the lawlessness. All right, I'm one that believes in the rules.
It's funny though because I do know some people who buy these games religiously, but they never actually complete them. You know what I'm saying? They'll start playing them and then they'll just turn to running around, shoot them up, breaking the law. They never actually complete the full game.
I'm probably that person.
Okay.
I mean, I beat them, but I don't 100% the games. I know people like the 100% GTAs. I'm not doing that. Once I get the main story out the way, I got millions of dollars by that time. I'm going crazy. That's a good point. It's GTA. I want to try to get as many stars as possible.
That's been my mission for 3, 4, 5. The stars is where it's at. I don't care about the story. Show me jets chasing me. Show me tanks chasing me. Then I'm satisfied. Let me see the outfit boys on the side of the truck shooting at me. Then we good.
Those dudes be the bravest. They not even in the car. They just standing on the side outside of that motherfucker, shooting at you with a pistol. Like, bro, I know y'all see me with bazookas and shit.
Like, they don't care. We in it.
That is hilarious. Let's see. All right. Yo, let's jump into the next game, man. The last game we're talking about, not too big on this particular game, but it did create the format for how the series would go. Mario Kart Wii. And what I mean by that is, as you both know, of course, if you like Mario Kart 8, this is when a lot of it took place with he would transform the cart to go in water, transform the cart to with the hang glider to fly. And at first, I wasn't feeling it. I was traditional, just get the cart, the items, and rock it out, right? But by the time 8 dropped, I gave in to that, right? So going back and playing Mario Kart Wii now, which I did a few times, I feel better about it than I initially did. At first, I'm like, why you got hang gliders? Why is he going underwater and stuff like that? But now that obviously I know what I know, this is actually a pretty damn good game. Obviously, with the wheel that you have for the Wii, that added a whole new thing to it. Wade, what's your thoughts on Mario Kart Wii, man?
First, I want to say I wasn't rich, so I didn't have the wheel. I used the controller like normal people. But nah, I love this game, man. I don't think Mario Kart ever missed. I don't like the original so much because it was hard for me to steer. But like outside of that, all of these joints is dope. All they did was make it look better, upgrade the vehicles, but the arsenal is kind of still the same. They may change it a little bit here and there,
right? Added
a few things, but it's still the same classic that we used to. They just added. It's like the Air Force One, man. Classic is a classic. Sometimes you can add a little bit color here and there and make it a little better here and there. but it's always gonna be a classic.
That's fair. What about you, GamerLiveLook? What's your thoughts on Mario Kart Wii?
Mario Kart in general. All right, so you figure from the SNES,
Yep.
all the way up to what we have now.
Right.
Every single installment of Mario had something new to add to the game. So when the next one came out, it was better and better. And they continued doing it even with this one. The gliding, the all this other stuff that they added to it. Even the way the levels were created and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just kept pushing it. So when Mario Kart 8 came out and all this, now we're looking at a whole different, from where we started to where we're at, we're looking at a whole different game. Not per se as far as base game, but just so many intricate parts of it that makes the game so much more enjoyable, family friendly, and for you and your boys to be competitive and still talk that nonsense, it still keeps the original feeling of the game as the further it progressed.
Absolutely. Yo, one thing I will say, man, like which kind of touches upon your point. I think one of the reasons why I've always pushed on this show for Mario Kart 9, and a lot of people say with the DLC, there's now 48 new tracks, right? That they brought back so they're like, why? And I'm like, it's basically speaking to your point. They always add one thing. It might be one thing that's new, and it always works well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I definitely agree with what y'all both said. Mario Kart, like Nintendo does a good job with using colors in their games and stuff. So where it's not, even though it's not like a Forza, like a Gran Turismo, they still look good and they hold up very, very well. That's one of the cool things about how Nintendo structures their games.
Color and soundtrack is what they're about. Like their soundtracks be phenomenal for absolutely no reason. You got no, seriously, you got these new I guess these shorts that are coming out using the Donkey Kong water level from Donkey Kong Country. And it makes you emotional for no reason.
Nostalgia. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
It's crazy.
Like I know exactly what you're talking about. It'll be like a nostalgia post, right? With like that parachute from gym class and shit.
Restaurants you won't see no more. Stores you're not going to be able to snacks that are no longer available. And then they're playing the Donkey Kong Water Country level. It's like, whoa.
All right, let's get to the chat. Byron said, okay, in terms of Grand Theft Auto, he said, kinda, I will watch my son and nephew play it. But this and the Def Jam games, for whatever reason, was just never my thing. I know it's crazy. Wait, the Def Jam games, don't say that.
That's disrespect to his highest level right there.
Right. I just wanted to know why. Like, is there a reason? Sometimes it's just.
I think he had an altercation with Fat Joe or something.
Yeah, I mean, the Def Jam part hurt. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't have to add that part in, bro. Christian said Mario Kart Wii was a blast, one of my favorites. I think plus the fact is when the Wii dropped, Wii Sports had the world on lock, of course. And then when this came out and they had the wheel, even if you didn't choose to play, because I know if you bought it, it came with the wheel at first, and then they stopped doing it. But I think it was just different again. You know what I mean? That was the whole point of the Wii, right? It was to be different from the traditional gaming. I thought that was one of the cool parts about it.
Man, that plastic wheel had me cursing in Spanish trying to use it. Because it's like you turn a little bit left, you're smacking a wall. You turn
way over to the wall, right?
It's like stay in the middle.
Right.
That's crazy.
Most said it's cool, but I skipped. Too busy playing Wii Sports. Yeah, Wii Sports, yo. That might be the best packing game of all time. I know original Nintendo fans got something to say about that, right? But yeah, man, like Wii Sports, I know people who got Wii's. It's the only game they ever had for the Wii. You know what I mean? They wanted to play that Wii Sports. Jess said one of my favorites. Yeah, but y'all got anything else on Mario Kart Wii before we get on to topics?
Nah, man, let's get it. Let's get to the topic.
All right, let's go. All right, yo, the next thing we talking about, man. A possible win for the modding community. Take-Two, WWE, Take-Two, 2K, of course, was one of the most strictest when it comes to their games and their properties. They lifted a ban in WWE 2K24 of a popular creator named What's the Status. If y'all aren't familiar with WWE games, obviously, one of the biggest features was always the creator wrestler, right? And ever since, I forgot the exact game, but ever since they started being able to create your wrestler, upload it, so that way you go to your boy's house or whatever, you could just go download your character and fight. That opened up a network of people who create wrestlers retro that aren't in the game, but they became so skilled and so good at it, Wave. You know what I'm saying? That like they can make, they'll be like, yo, I made Pass the Sticks, the whole crew Pass the Sticks, and you go download it, like, damn, that's better than what I would have did. You know what I mean? But now they're creating like, oh, here's what The Rock had on SmackDown last week. Here's what here's what Kane had on in 1997. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you guys see Jericho's moat? Yeah, they just added that to the game. Boom.
Right.
It's crazy now what they're doing with these modded communities.
Like they're so good.
With 2K23, right?
Yeah,
with 2K23, I was bored, so I decided to go to the, see what was available and stuff like that. How I had a whole 30-man Royal Rumble with everybody from Marvel. Like literally just the Avengers, everybody and their mother from Marvel was there. And I was like, all right, go for it. And it's so fun. They're even making like AEW stuff and like WCW stuff. It's the craziest thing how good this modding community is for WWE 2K.
Yeah, man. And one of the ways that some do it, I guess not all. I know What's the Status. What he would do is a lot of times they would data dump the game, right? They would go in, find lost files or lost things that were. Perfect example, Wave. He talked about how Brock Lesnar was purposely left out of playable in this year's game. Well, they went in and found the pieces to Brock Lesnar, created them, uploaded them, put them back in the game. 2K kept taking it down. And then I think that opened up a floodgate. So it's like, all right, so we're going to start banning the creators who are data dumping the game. Problem is, with What's the Status, I know people that buy these games, and the first thing they do is see what he uploads, right? Like, for example, like this is how The Rock looked when he first came back, and What's the Status already had him in the game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like 2K was like, because Take Two, 2K, they could be very stringent with shit. They're like, nah, you know what? We're no more. So that they banned them. But the community outreach, people threatened to not buy the game. They threatened to boycott the game, said we'll never buy another one. And 2K, they had to go back on their word. It was like, yo, if this is what y'all like about the game, they said they worked out a deal. What's the Status said? I'm sure it has something to be like, yo, you can't just be data dumping the game like that. But they brought him back and they told him he could do his thing for future games. What's your thoughts on that, y'all? Like, that's kind of wild to see a company known for being very strict with their stuff walking back and kind of allowing a creator to basically continue to mod their game.
Yeah, gamer.
So with this one, with this specific situation, I'm behind 2K on it, on lifting the ban. And the reason being is because he's not cheating. He's not doing anything to expose the game. He's doing what they're not doing.
Yes.
He's making a better game. And he's making more people interested in buying the game because of what he's able to produce for us as consumers. That's not what they're doing. They're just taking the money and keeping it pushing, throw a little DLC here, a little DLC there. That's it. This man is creating a whole universe of different things you could do within the game, especially when you play like general manager mode and stuff like that. You can have 1,000,001 different promotions going because of the work he's putting into the game.
Right.
What he's doing to the game. Not what 2K is doing. What he's doing to the game. And I don't see nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's not giving away money. He's not cheating the game. He's not spoofing anything. He's literally finding everything in the game that you guys already put in the game to kind of create these wrestlers. It's not like he's hacking into your database. So me personally, I think what he's doing is great. And I wish that other communities that have these creations, like the creator whatever, they would allow other creators to do this, especially if they're bringing more value to the game than they are not to the game. That's right.
That's a great point, because everything we're seeing in this video right now is stuff that he has done. This one creator, and a lot of people say he's the best, but like he said, he's not the only. You know what I mean? So the fact that the base roster of the game is impressive within itself, But what he does is he'll add attire, he'll add brand new wrestlers, like GamerLiveLook said, like from other companies, or maybe they don't rock with WWE no more. So you can still put them back in the game. That's the cool thing about it. And it doesn't harm anyone. He also makes arenas. So for example, he made an arena that looks just like the No Mercy arena from the N64 days. That was dope. So like I found out about his band in real time because I went to go look because somebody said he put an arena up from WCW Revenge. So I was like, oh, I went to go look and I was like, yo, what happened to him? Go on Twitter, he's banned. So I was like, damn, they finally got him, right? And then like when I saw he came back, I was like, yo, that's pretty dope, man. How like they banded together. Like I found out about this dude, even though he's been doing it for a while with WWE 2K22. By the time 23 and 24 rolled around, day one, I get the game. I'm looking to see what he made because I'm downloading it. You know what I mean? I'm just downloading all his stuff, kind of set up the game first, and then I'll start playing GM mode and stuff like that. Because it's dope, man. And the fact that they banned him, I get it technically to some degree because he was taking some stuff that was supposed to be blocked. He's violating in terms of service technically, if you read it. But like GamerLiveLook said, he ain't hurting nobody, man. Like he ain't doing nothing detrimental to the game. That was the cool part about it. Wade, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think it just shows how powerful the community is, man. If you really think about it, like we hold the power, and I don't think we flex that enough. And this just showed the possibilities if we do that. You feel me? When everybody join together and saying, "Hey, we ain't going to support if you don't let this guy come in." And even with all of those agreements and license agreements, he ain't a part of that. He ain't signed no deal.
Right.
He just using the game in the process that they gave him to create whoever he could think of in his head. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And even allowing other people to use that, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that because he ain't signed no contracts. He ain't got no ties to the game. I mean, I don't really know all the ins and outs of the law, so he may be doing something illegal, but he ain't hurting nobody. So I agree with Gamer on that one wholeheartedly. You know,
and like if that's the case, then just hire him, man. Like you know what I mean? He can make the game better.
That's gonna be my next point. I hope that deal was giving him the bag or some type of sponsorship or something.
I doubt it, of course, but like you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where I was like, bro, clearly he's making the game better. The fans love him. That's like, and people are buying the game to see what he does. So I'm like, I'm glad it worked out because, like I said, Take-Two, they usually don't walk back stuff like this. So it's one of the things where it got right. And now I'm starting to see other communities like, what can we push for if we band together, right? Shit, I need them to try to do something with Madden. Like might send them over there next.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's nothing like the wrestling community. The wrestling community is different, but when something happens that they don't like, they lock together. It's a strong bond because a lot of us grew up in that. A lot of us grew up in wrestling. A lot of us grew up in the Attitude Era. A lot of us grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and just watching it became a fabric of us, and not like it became just how we escape from things, the stories, the let's see, the canvas being painted with the paintbrush. It was just what we got out of wrestling and stuff like that. Just did a lot for us, and this community is awesome.
That's a good point. Let's get to this chat real quick. Mo said the creator has to stay. It's vital. The YouTube channel Dead Meat uses this game to make a horror Royal Rumble, which is like what GamerLiveLook said with the Marvel. I've seen it with Marvel. I've seen it with Star Wars. I've seen it with all types of stuff. And like if you start banning stuff like that, then that's when it just makes it less fun. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks the fun out of something for no reason. That's a good point. Christian said that's awesome. I could get into that. Yeah. And he said if we collectively as gamers get a new skate game to come out, that would be great.
Can't lie. I never really enjoyed skate.
Oh, really?
Nah.
I was more Tony Hawk. I wasn't against skate.
Yeah.
I wasn't against it, but I was more Tony Hawk. And by the times, at least Skate 2 dropped. Even though I played it, I was kind of like, I'm kind of done with the whole genre.
I ain't like the analog thing with the tricks.
Like, it was more realistic. You know what I mean? It was less arcadey.
Yeah.
But
that's probably
it. So now, real quick, we going as GamerLiveLook was kind enough to join the show. We're gonna kind of ask him a few questions, just you know what I'm saying, get
I
his
played the
background
fifth.
and stuff. You plead the fifth on everything, right?
That's it.
Right.
All right,
1, 2, 3, 4, fifth.
Anything you say, fifth.
Fifth. F-I-F, fifth.
Yo, so my first question is just, man, how'd you get your start in gaming? Let's start there.
Streaming or in gaming in general?
General.
Okay. Atari 2600.
Okay.
Atari 2600, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, the ET game. Disappointment.
Yeah.
But one of the most games that I remember, one of the best games I remember fondly as a child, and till this day, it just brings a joy to my face when I see it, is actually Alex Kidd for the Master System. I think it's Miracle Land or Wonderland or something like that.
Miracle Land, yeah.
Yeah, such a great game. So much color, so much. The music was fun. Just everything about that game was just amazing. And you know, me being young, this was like the greatest thing in history. You look at those graphics, like, oh my God, how is life gonna get better? Now look at where we're at now, where it looks like we're literally playing with AI, like actually people in front of us and stuff like that's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, that's the Atari 2600 is where I started gaming.
And from that day, it was just on, right? Like
it was on. That's it. It was instant connections, and I've had almost every single console ever made.
Okay. Are you a collector, or was it just
no? It was just growing up. Me and my brother and I, his dad was fortunate enough to bless us with these gifts and stuff like that. So,
sure,
you know, whenever they come out, he was just here, get away from me. So we had these things, and it was awesome.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Wait, you got a question? You want me to keep going?
Nah, keep going. What's your question?
All right, cool.
Man?
My next question I got for you, bro, is how'd you get into streaming? So on the other side, obviously you got playing, but now broadcasting and creating a community.
So my community, you know, I'm still new to the game. I'm still low level, very low level, and it is what it is. I'm doing this for fun. Watching other streamers is what made me be like, you know what? Why don't I just record my gameplay? I'm not looking to be the most famous gamer out there. I'm not looking to secure the bag. I'm looking to have fun, create entertainment. You guys enjoy the game. You guys want to jump in? Come on. I don't care. It's whatever. So there's a few streamers that I can actually give shout outs to for this.
Okay.
One of them is a Good Game Bro. Love his content. Love his.
Oh yeah, that's my boy.
He was the first streamer that I actually started watching, and really had high influence on me doing it. Then Stone Mountain 64, of course, he's the OG of gaming. Jay Devise is another one. Mrs. May, Tim the Tap Man, who doesn't watch Tim the Tap Man? You know, Nick Merckx. But those guys had a lot of influence and stuff like that, and just me wanting to do it. So I'm very appreciative of them and stuff like that.
Of course, in the chat, if y'all got any questions for GamerLiveLook, please put them in the chat. We got one from Mo. He said, "What games do you stream?"
Honestly, right now I'm literally on my Call of Duty fix, but I normally do I do everything. I do Fortnite, WWE 2K23, The Division, like GTA 5 and stuff like that. So I'm actually looking for an RP server for GTA 5 to get into that and start having fun doing some role playing GTA 5. Since I play on PC.
It's funny you said The Division, because that rolls right into my next question.
I think Division 1 or 2. Wave said you got a question.
Oh, you got a question?
I'll wait till after this one.
The Division 1 or 2. Which one you going with?
All right. So for me, I'm gonna say 1. I fell in love with the game. That game was new to everybody.
Yep.
We didn't get the version that they showed us.
No,
but we got the version that we needed, though. I'll tell you that much. That game opened the doors to so many other games within Ubisoft alone. You figured The Division opened the door for Ghost Recon. It opened the door for the Ghost Recon. What was it? Ghost Recon Wetlands, and then Ghost Recon Wildlands, and then there's another one. Ghost Recon Ghost.
Breakpoint.
Breakpoint. There it is.
Breakpoint. Yeah,
There,
yeah.
But these all stem from what the division created, and the story was phenomenal. The whole Aaron Keener story was just so good, and it made you want more. It made you want, like, you couldn't wait for part 2 because you wanted to finish that story to see what happens with Aaron Keener. And the fact that they chose very populated locations. You went from New York to Washington, and it just made the game so great. I love that game to death, and I will die on that hill.
All right, so my question is pretty simple. I just want to know how you came up with your name.
I was just, I don't know. I just like, you know what? Okay, so initially what my thought process was for this to be a channel of me exploring new games. Not even playing them, just seeing what's out there, buying them, displaying them, keeping it pushing. But then I already created everything with the name, and I just ended up keeping it. So there's something wrong with your mic, Jay. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there it is.
All right, cool. My next question is favorite thing about the gaming community, both yours and just overall, man. Like as you've been in it for some time now, you know what I mean? Obviously not like years and years and years, but
my favorite thing about the gaming community is when they show love. Like, it is so cool that John from Johannesburg, Africa, and Steve from Seattle are sitting here watching the same stream, not knowing each other, but yet showing interest in you as a person.
Right.
And it's such a cool feeling to have that kind of love. Like, everybody in your chat right now, you guys are getting that special love because you're bringing to them something that they enjoy. That is the most beautiful thing in the world to me. You bring people together. At the end of the day, you just bring people together.
That's good point,
what I love
man.
about the gaming community.
That's a good point, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, when we first started this wave, we come from the era of the toxic chats, right? Like I was nervous at first. I was like, people gonna start saying all types of stuff. Like I'm thinking like the Call of Duty chats, the Gears of War chats, stuff like that. But nah, it's been like I definitely got to attest to what you said, bro. It's been real cool, man. Like just meeting people and seeing like, okay, I thought this game right here was the best game ever. This person don't like it, but it's interesting as to why he doesn't. You know what I mean? There's valid points everywhere. That's one of the coolest points of it. I think we got a question from Jess. She said, "What's your Mount Rushmore of gaming? Favorite 4 games of all time?"
This one's easy for me, to be honest. Okay. And it's nothing on the Nintendo Wii, Jess. So keep it pushing. So number 1 is The Division, the first Division. That's number 1 right off rip. Number 2 is Alex Kidd.
Yep.
Number 3 is actually WWF No Mercy.
Okay.
And number 4 for me was Cameo on Xbox 360.
That's an interesting one.
It was a unique game. It was different. Nothing like that ever came out. So that's what was so fun about that game.
That's a good point, because like that's how, I mean, like I said, I'm very biased towards this game. I'm about to say, but that's how I felt about Psychonauts on the original Xbox. Like nothing like it. You know what I mean? So like it always holds like a special place for me, because just playing it, and even when Psychonauts 2 came out, we was doing the show wave like when that game dropped, and I was hype on that because I was like, bro, it's just different. Like it's so much like that. Fable's another one. You know what I mean? Just games that are different. But we got to talk more about Cameo. That's a good one.
Man, that was. You never played it. It's actually
you never played
close.
It. Okay.
It's like your little fairy, and you end up going through these different stages of the game, and end up getting these like elemental energies that turn you into different animals or whatever, and it actually becomes pretty good. You progress. You're fighting ogres and stuff like that. It's actually pretty crazy, but it's fun. It gives you the Zelda meets Fable meets like Banjo-Kazooie vibes, because it is a rare game, so it is from the developers of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Just said if it's not the Wii, then it's all wrong.
You're wrong.
All right, yo, let's get to the spin wheel, man. Are y'all ready? Y'all know the drill.
Get it.
All right, let's do this. As always, y'all, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Let's get to the spin wheel, man. What's the best arcade fighting game? Who want to go first?
This hands down Street Fighter. Everybody knows this.
Which one?
Ah,
The
Street
first one
Fighter
or-
2. Street
Street
Fighter
Fighter
2 is the greatest arcade fighting game of all time. Everybody knows this.
I can't agree with that.
What you got, Wave?
Then you don't count.
They definitely top. They up there. I'm not gonna act like it's not. Street Fighter 2 Turbo is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. But I would have to say Marvel vs. Capcom 2, bro. How is it not that?
Street
How
Fighter's
is-
Street Fighter's Championship Edition was just different.
How is it
Was
not Marvel
different.
vs. Capcom? Take your pick, whichever one, except for 3 or Infinite. 1 or 2.
You gotta put restrictions on it.
Pick for
Terms
1 or
and
2.
conditions do apply.
Not 3, not 3, not Infinite. 1 or 2. If it's either one of those is fine for me. But bro, you could choose, well, not none of the Street Fighter characters, but all of the. Well, yeah, Ryu and Ken. What the hell am I talking about? Bro, it got the Street Fighter characters. It got everybody on that motherfucker, and it's a dope game. The way you
Well,
put
let me
it
ask you a
together, the
question.
moves.
Let me paint you a picture, and I
ultimates.
bet you're gonna really think about it. Let me paint you a picture. When you were young and you used to go to arcades, what were you looking at?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Stop your storytelling. You know you were looking at these Street Fighter coin machines. Everybody surrounding them for tournaments and stuff like that. Those were where it was at right there. That's where it was at.
When that was happening, I was a little bit too young.
Okay, you see, yeah. How old are you again, Wave? If you don't mind me asking.
I'll tell you after the show. I'm old. Just let's know that.
I respect it. I respect it.
I'm gonna actually go MK2. And even though I definitely get the points about both Marvel's Capcom and Street Fighter, I'm biased towards Mortal Kombat, man. And like I remember seeing lines. You know what I mean? Not that there wasn't lines from Marvel's Capcom or Street Fighter as well, but I remember just at the time MK it had it on lock. You know what I mean? Like especially like again, it kind of had like an unfair advantage to gore, right? The blood and the gore. That's kind of, I know some say that's unfair. That's funny. Most say Wave is like 16. That's hilarious.
Way older than that. Way
but
older than that.
I'm gonna go MK2. But again, I can't strip bias from this one. I just can't. So like. I definitely get it though with Street Fighter. To be honest, like Street Fighter 2 is still my favorite Street Fighter. I know everyone likes 3 and 3 Alpha and the joint on the Dreamcast, and how 6 is great too. But Street Fighter 2 is where it's at. Marvel's Capcom, I don't
believe.
No, don't get me wrong. Marvel versus Capcom is a phenomenal fighting game. I will not say that, but you asked what's the best arcade fighting
right?
game.
Yeah.
So right now you're on the sticks, on the arcade sticks.
Right.
All I remember is being young, going to a pizzeria, and boom, Street Fighter's right there.
Street Fighter 2. That's a good point.
People right there, just all over.
I'll give you that part right there.
I got the same stories of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Okay,
I respect it.
Christian said Marvel's Capcom 2. Okay,
right.
That's one for Wave. Let's see. Mo said Marvel's Capcom 1. Yeah, so
Marvel
we know Mo. He
Capcom.
like the 1v1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I spent too much money on that game in the arcade. Christian said, agree with Wave. Embassy hands down. The game straight up took my money in the arcade.
Yeah, bro.
Damn coin slots with the $20 bills and like a whole Ziploc bag of quarters or tokens, depending on the arcade.
I played that game religiously.
Word. Let's get to the next question though. Shout out to all three of those games.
Right.
You're a game developer working on a horror game. You're given the choice to collaborate with Jordan Peele, Sam Raimi, or Guillermo del Toro. Who do you choose?
I don't know none of these motherfuckers. I don't know
Jordan
none of these.
Peele from
Yeah, I know
Get Out,
Jordan Peele,
Us,
but I don't know the other two dudes.
Sam Raimi.
Guillermo del Toro, he does a lot of I
What
believe
movies
he's a
he
part.
wrote?
I believe he's a part of the whole the Slaughterhouse Group, which is Quentin Tarantino,
Yep.
Ivan Rodriguez, Paul. What is it? No, not Paul Rodriguez. Eli Roth.
Yep.
There's a few of them. So basically, you ever seen
They did like House on Honey Hills and stuff like that.
No. From Dusk Till Dawn. That's Quentin Tarantino.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Quentin Tarantino. I'm talking about Del Toro.
So he's from that school. And Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi did films like Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, The Grudge.
For me personally, I'll go with Del Toro because I like just in general his group, what they produce as far as gore and craziness. That's what you're looking for in a horror game, because that's gonna scare the living hell out of you.
I'm not mad at that.
That's what I would do.
So, what I'm about to say is gonna sound wild, but I'm actually gonna pick Raimi only because I like the way he plays with the psychological aspect. And I always thought some of his movies, like The Grudge, for example, would make a better video game than it did film. I wasn't too high on The Grudge as a film, but watching it, I'm like, I could see how this would be like, in the realm of Silent Hill or Resident Evil, but more like supernatural. I think it actually play off better, to be honest. Raimi, plus like it's not horror, but just the way he did the Spider-Man films. I know now MCU took over, of course, but just the way and look to his films, I've always liked, and I always thought they would play well in video games. So that's why I'm picking Raimi.
I'm picking Del Toro because he come from the same school as Quentin Tarantino.
Okay, that's more than fair.
I don't got no other reason.
It's funny though, because
Jordan Peele can get movie love, but not video game love. Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because he's supposed to be working on a game with Kojima, that OD game that they showed at the Game Awards. Obviously, we know nothing about it yet.
Exactly.
Kojima, so we know it's going to be abstract as hell. But I'm very curious to see what his piece of that game is, because
his input.
Yeah, very.
Can his movies really be like considered horror though?
They're more psychological thrillers.
Yeah.
Like he gotta have his own genre. I don't know if that's.
Well, it's not really its own genre. It's just it's different.
Yeah.
He's the Michael Jackson of movies. He's not rap. He's not hip hop. He's just there.
Right. Just said Del Toro because the creatures that he would make would be crazy. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Christian said Raimi for a bloodbath, Del Toro for monsters, Peele for suspense type horror.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see what Peele could possibly do. I'm not saying he should, but I'm saying like take his, but put it in like the Silent Hill type theme of it, because like he is good with suspense, like that movie Us. Not like a traditional horror movie, but the way he played with suspense and stuff in the background in that movie was great, man.
Even Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nope. Yep. Knowing Peele's game, Peele would have something like Condemned. That's
a good point.
Condemned was interesting, scary as hell.
Yeah,
but and then more psychological. Yeah,
stuff in the background. You walk in, like sometimes you have to play that game with the sound up or headphones on, because you're like, yo, I thought I heard footsteps.
Something ran behind me. What was that?
Right. Most said Del Toro, he got a game coming out with Kojima right to see Kojima busy, man. Like he always up to something. Like, but his games take forever to come out. Like most said Raimi did the Evil Dead franchise. He's goated. Yeah, now he definitely Raimi also did well, it's not horror, but he also did what was the last Doctor Strange? What's it called? Multiverse of Madness. He had a piece in that movie too. That's why I had like that again, that dark theme to it. Like just from even the way it looked. But
I'm about to go watch that now that you say all that.
I wasn't too high on the film itself. I guess that's not a good endorsement, but I like the way it looked. If that made sense. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Jess. Multiverse of Madness. All right, let's get to the next one. Shout out to my boy Rain.
I gotta get up on these names. I don't be paying attention to who do what. I just enjoy the art.
What's your favorite video game series?
I'll let you boys take this one. I'll jump in at the end.
Probably
Sports, I would have to say 2K. Because I enjoy 2K baseball, 2K football, 2K basketball. Oh, wait, series. I'm tweaking.
yeah.
Rewind. I would have to go Uncharted. I would have to go Uncharted.
Shit, I might have to go Mortal Kombat only because I've never played one I didn't like. Even like
it's hard. It's too because there's different genres, man.
Yeah, but I think the difference is I think the reason why I personally say MK is like they could say, yo, we got some MK game you never even like, you know what I mean? Like some new stuff. I'm probably checking it out just off default. Like so many games, especially now that I'll look into, I try to do research into, but soon as I saw the opening thing for MK1, I was like, I'm buying it. I don't care if it's on Game Pass or not, right? Whereas now I'm like, is it on Game Pass? Could I wait? You know what I mean? Right. MK, I'm like, I'm buying it. Like it's not even a question no more. Yeah, I gotta go MK because if they put out like a single player game on like a storyline of Liu Kang or Scorpion or whatever, I'd probably buy every single one. So
what you got? It. Me?
Yep.
I got two actually.
Okay.
Pokemon is one. The second one is actually the Final Fantasy franchise. I might not look like I play those games, but they're actually really fun to play.
You played them all?
I played them all. Played them a little bit.
I played every single one of them from I think SNES all the way up.
Okay. You played the remakes too, or you just kind of
just the originals? Just the original. I never got back into the remakes. Final Fantasy VII has got to be the greatest Final Fantasy game within the franchise.
Right, hands down. What is your favorite?
Final Fantasy VII. That's the only one. That's the only one that I actually played the remake on.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see the color contrast, just how it looks now. But that was probably one of the greatest Final Fantasies ever made.
What about Pokemon?
They did a good job.
I'm just curious. What's your favorite Pokemon game?
Believe it or not, it's actually the one I got here, the Legend of Arceus.
Oh yeah, the one that dropped last. Yeah,
I think a year or two ago.
Yeah.
That's I love all of them. I love Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, Silver, Purple, Yellow, Orange.
right.
Mushrooms, rainbows, clovers, and balloons. I love all the Pokemons, but the Arceus one to me stands out because it was just so different. And when they came out with even Scarlet and Violet, I believe those are the most recent ones. They took that and just put it into those Pokemon games, which I have those as well. But that Pokemon Arceus is just, it was just different.
Christian said Mario Kart and Pokemon. So, okay. Most said Halo. I think we knew that. Like, yeah. Jess said this is a hard question, but favorite to watch is the tie between MK and Halo. To play would probably be Fable. And anything Mario, leave me alone. GamerLiveLook.
Grow up.
Fable's a good one though, because Fable's one that like I never thought I'd, you know what I mean? I would get into like that. That's a good one.
Now I love Fable. I love just being able to help an old lady across the street 1 second and then punching a chicken in the back of the head for no reason. It was fun. It was absolutely fun.
Word. All right, let's get to one more, then we'll get out of here, y'all. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Persona, or Fire Emblem. One gotta go.
Well, you already know which one of mine is not leaving. So
Right.
I'm down to 3.
Damn, I played the Persona games recently too, so I'll probably get rid of Dragon Quest. Final Fantasy, I have too much respect for. I haven't played them all, I can't say that, but the ones I have played, I did enjoy. Persona, I've been playing. I really like that franchise. Fire Emblem is way more fun than I thought it'd be. Dragon Quest, I have played, but nah, I'm probably the least attached to it. That's why I gotta say Dragon Quest.
Go ahead, gamer.
Hands down, Dragon Quest.
Okay.
Persona's good. Final Fantasy is phenomenal, and Fire Emblem is not bad. It's actually a decent game.
Yep.
I've only played one of these games, so you can get rid of any of the other 3. I don't give a damn.
Nah, you gotta pick one, man.
But for answer's sake, I'm gonna just be different and say Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. All right.
Cool, and that name is just trash. So that's why.
Yeah, man.
Had to give a good reason.
Christian said, Pokemon Masters take time. That's a fact. Pokemon games, talking about the grind culture, you know what I mean? Like Pokemon games, like you can pick up it in place, right? It's not hard to play, but to master it, you gotta know what you're doing. That's the cool part about Pokemon.
Real quick,
commitment.
I just read something Jess wrote there. She asked if Pokemon is grown. Oh, yeah. It absolutely is. All right, that's adult work right there. When you grinding Pokemon and you're trying to be the best of the best that Ash Ketchum told you to be, that's a grind.
To catch them is our real test. Byron said, before I played Like a Dragon series, Judgment and Lost Judgment, and God of War was his favorite franchise. Okay.
Like Dragon series? I gotta look that up.
Yeah, the Lost Judgment drop, I think it was like 2 years ago now on PS4. It might be on Xbox too, but definitely on PS4.
Never, I ain't see that.
Just said I've never played any of these, so can't answer.
Gotta play Final Fantasy 7.
Christian said, just keep Final Fantasy, the rest can go. Damn.
That's how I feel. Hey, I feel the same way, bro.
That's the love Final Fantasy gets. There's
relevancy. Yeah, yo, I learned the hard way once. I remember I was figuring out what post I was on. Somebody asked me about Final Fantasy, and I basically said what I said. I was like, the ones I played, I thought was good. I haven't really played. What you mean you ain't never played a franchise? You gotta play. I'm like, yo, chill. I respect it, but yo, chill.
That fan base right there, it's an insult to them.
Right.
If you didn't invest in at least one complete game. Like, that's it. Like, yo, you lost your mind if you didn't do that.
I literally was like, yo, I respect it. I was like, and then he didn't respond for a little while. So I was like, all right, cool. Dude, DM me. Here's why you gotta play. I was like, my bad, man. Damn.
Yeah. Gotta think of his response.
Word. But yo, that's all we got for this week's show. GamerLiveLook, appreciate you stopping through, man, to chop it up with us, man. You're welcome back anytime.
I appreciate that. You fellas, let me know whenever you want me back. I'll be glad to come back. It was a blast. To the people in the comment section, thank you guys for coming out and showing love to these fellas right here. They put in a lot of work, they put in a lot of time so we can have a lot of fun, man, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And before we get out of here, let them know where they can find you.
If you guys do want to hit me with a like and follow button, I am on kick.com/GamerLiveLook, man. I appreciate the love.
No doubt. And Wave, take it away, man.
Hey, yo, if you ain't got Kick, go download that right now. Follow GamerLiveLook. That's how you spell it right there. Go send my boy a like, man, so we can help him reach his goals over there on the green side. It's been a blast, man. We appreciate you. Come back. We appreciate the likers, the lurkers, the followers, the sharers, anybody that showed any type of love. We appreciate you. You guys have a good night. See you on Tuesday.
Peace.